After participating in a romance reality show with the aloof actress, I tried to avoid any suspicion at every turn, fearing that I might get in the way of her creating gossip with the popular male star. After all, in the entertainment industry, a big melting pot, such tactics are quite common. For the sake of popularity and topics, all kinds of bundled marketing are endless. But I never expected that contemporary netizens are all rebels. After the show was broadcast, the popular male star and the actress were ridiculed for their overly deliberate CP pairing, which was as sickly sweet as artificial sweeteners. Instead, the way I interacted with the actress while avoiding suspicion quickly went viral across the whole network. The audience couldn't help but tease, when these two look at each other, they quickly look away, yet their eyes seem to be intertwined. He runs, she chases, and he can't escape even with wings. If their relationship is fake, then I'm fake too. Among male stars of the same age as me, I have the worst reputation. I'm well known for being eager to form CP to ride on the female lead's popularity. With a rugged, angular face that exudes masculinity, I was forced to follow the cute and soft-spoken persona set by the company, which led to me being widely criticized online for being affected in scheming. During filming, the female lead's team would force me to promote a real-life CP, but later she would play the victim, and I would be the one getting scolded while she took all the heat. Seeing my reputation going down the drain, my agent simply signed me up for a live streaming romance reality show, hoping to use my hated but all over the network popularity as a backdrop to set off the sincerity and straightforwardness of the popular male star, David. But just a few days before the start of the show, news came that the actress Sophia would also participate in the recording. When I was young and impulsive during my student days, relying on my status as her senior, I had some unmentionable minor conflicts with this incredibly beautiful rising star. To be honest, I really didn't want to meet her again. But fortunately, the director had already set the basic tone. This romance reality show was all about promoting the CP of the actress Sophia and the popular male star David, and everyone else was just a supporting role. That is to say, I would have little chance to interact with Sophia. All I had to do was be a good backdrop, not steal the spotlight, and make way for her and David. It was almost like going on a trip. This made me very happy. After all, who could resist the joy of making money effortlessly? On the day the show started filming, David wore light, natural-looking makeup. As soon as he appeared, the bullet comments in the live streaming room instantly boiled over. Fans were flooding the screen with messages like, "This must be the reason why our Sophia condescended to participate in this romance show. The first love story has come to life. David is so handsome. He looks like he's walking on a runway in whatever he wears." I followed closely behind, wearing loose short sleeves and baggy shorts, and lazily greeted the camera. At this moment, the tone of the bullet comments in the live streaming room suddenly changed. Netizens started to complain, "Why is he here? Such bad luck. Is he deliberately following David to steal the spotlight? What is he wearing? It looks like the style of an elderly tourist group. Can we kick James out? I can already predict that he'll start showing off later and play tricks on David and the others. A man can be this scheming, really." I sneered in my heart when I saw the comments from netizens in the live streaming room. Humph, I'm too lazy to compete with them. They'd have to pay me extra for that. Until Sophia showed up, I was earnestly being a backdrop, watching several handsome guys and beautiful girls vying for attention. After Sophia appeared, I directly moved out of the camera's view, not even being a backdrop anymore. When it comes to avoiding suspicion, I'm a professional. Sophia has the highest status among us. Over the years, she has been filming in a low-key manner, with almost no gossip, and rarely participates in variety shows. It is said that when the director of the romance show first invited her, she refused. Later, for some unknown reason, she suddenly changed her mind. The news that the aloof actress condescended to participate in a romance show immediately caused a huge stir across the network. Everyone was speculating that she came specifically for David. After all, since David debuted, it was revealed that he and Sophia were high school and university classmates. There were also rumors that David was the man Sophia had been secretly in love with for years but couldn't be with. Some netizens even guessed that Sophia remained single all these years just waiting for David to look back at her. In the entertainment industry, it is the unwritten rule that the one with the highest status has the final say. As soon as the actress Sophia appeared, everyone rushed up to introduce themselves excitedly. When the camera swept over me, I was completely relaxed, wondering if the melon seeds in front of me were props. The bullet comments in the live streaming room became a hot topic. Netizens were complaining, "What's this guy pretending to be aloof for? He actually ignores our Sophia. He has no bottom line for the sake of popularity. Ugly people create more trouble." However, some netizens said, although, I somehow noticed his good looks. This guy is really quite good looking. Sisters, I think I'm crazy. I actually think this scheming guy James is handsome. Who knows what bad ideas he has in mind. David promptly sat next to Sophia. They were wearing clothes of the same color system, which looked particularly like couples' outfits. The bullet comments in the live streaming room were filled with messages like a perfect match, a match made in heaven again. I sat far away, eating melon seeds and quietly looking at Sophia. After not seeing her for years, she was even more beautiful. Her abstinent aura was off the charts, but she seemed cold and distant, lacking the cute, chubby look she used to have. The bullet comments in the live streaming room were going crazy. David and Sophia look so much like a couple when they're in the same frame. I'm so sweetened. David's slightest smile can cause a climax in the live streaming room. The gap between the male guests is too big. How can that fake James compare with our David? Just then, Sophia suddenly looked in my direction. I was about to put a melon seed kernel into my mouth and didn't have time to retract my gaze. Our eyes met, and I immediately looked away, turning to the nearest pretty girl and winking at her. Sophia's eyes darkened instantly. Some sharp-eyed netizens immediately commented, "Why do I feel that Sophia's look is a bit sad?" What did she see? The direction Sophia is looking it seems to be James. Sisters, quickly spit and touch the wood. Don't let Sophia and James's names appear together. I thought this black fan made a lot of sense. I didn't want to have anything to do with Sophia at all. I just wanted to slack off for 3 months, get my huge payment, and then leave. In the evening, before we anonymously voted for love letters, there was a dating session. The program team came up with a whim. They blindfolded all of us, let us walk around freely in a small room, and randomly pair up. Whoever we caught, we would date that person tonight. They even gave this ridiculous session a ridiculous name, Cupid's Guessing Game. I think it's more like a game that makes people lose their sanity. Some netizens were not happy. This isn't fair. That famed chaser James will definitely take advantage of our sister on purpose. I don't agree either. Other women stay away from our David. David belongs to Sophia. When people lose their sense of sight, their other senses become extremely sensitive. In the small room, the breathing sounds of several people intertwined, and the ambiguity quickly escalated as our skin touched. I tensed up, trying to distinguish Sophia's unique shower gel smell from the messy perfume smells, and then try to avoid her. The bullet comments in the live streaming room went crazy. Netizens were commenting one after another. This program team really knows how to stir things up. It's so exciting. David, go to the right. Sophia is on the right. Ah, they almost hugged each other just now. Hey, have you noticed that James's route is so strange? Oh my god, he just pushed someone away. Sisters, I noticed it too. James has been avoiding people, especially Sophia. It's like they have some kind of telepathy. It's really amazing. The key is that Sophia keeps approaching James's direction. Everyone else is like a headless fly, but they seem to have eyes. He runs, she chases, and he can't escape. Help, the netizen in front is killing me with laughter. 10 minutes later, the director blew the whistle to announce that the pairing results were out. Everyone else was trying to get close to others, creating ambiguous interactions. But I, adhering to the principle of don't touch me, pushed away anyone who came close, successfully avoiding all the women, and of course, Sophia. However, when I took off the blindfold, everyone was holding hands in pairs, except for Sophia and me, who were standing diagonally across from each other. David's face immediately changed, and he shook off the hand of the girl beside him. This turned out to be counterproductive. David forced a smile and said, "Director, we were not familiar with the rules just now. How about doing it again?" I quickly stepped forward. The bullet comments in the live streaming room were scrolling like crazy, and netizens' complaints came pouring in. Humph, that scheming guy is definitely going to refute David. Let's watch his clumsy performance. James is so lucky to get Sophia. He must be overjoyed. I rushed to the director and said, "David is right. I agree to do it again. We must do it again." At this moment, I was thinking that I should have just randomly paired with a girl. The little rapper girl in the morning was nice, and the elder sister diagonally opposite also had her charm. Anyway, they were better than Sophia. David probably didn't expect me to agree with him. He just stood there, stunned. Sophia said calmly, "It's getting late. Doing this session will take time." The director didn't dare to refute Sophia, so the idea of doing the game had to be abandoned. David slowly walked up to Sophia, looked at her tenderly, and said, "Sophia, it doesn't matter. I'll wait for you to come back." The program staff zoomed in on them for a close-up. David left, looking back every few steps, and his eyes were red as if it was a life and death farewell. The bullet comments in the live streaming room scrolled rapidly, and netizens started commenting again, "Poor David. It's all that scumbag James's fault. He always has to snatch everything. James is deliberately making things difficult for our David." But some other netizens spoke up for me, "If your eyes are useless, donate them. Even I, a passer-by, can't stand it. James clearly didn't do anything. Sisters, that scheming guy must be pretending to be aloof. Don't be fooled. He will surely show his true colors and desperately cling to Sophia later. Just wait and see." The dating list was finally settled. I reluctantly glanced at Sophia and always kept a 1-meter distance from her. The bullet comments in the live streaming room froze for a while, and then someone quietly commented, "Am I crazy? Why does James seem to dislike Sophia so much? He doesn't even try to ride on her popularity. Is this still the fame-chasing, shameless scheming guy? James has changed. It's so funny." Sophia keeps turning back to confirm James's presence. What, is Sophia afraid he'll run away? But it seems like James really wants to run. The dating location was by the sea. The lights were dim, and there were candles and rose petals on the table, which made me headache. I took the lead and said, "What temperature do you like to set the air conditioner at?" Sophia replied, 26 degrees Celsius. I said, "I like it at 17 degrees Celsius. We're not suitable." There was a long silence. Sophia said softly, "I can also set it at 17 degrees Celsius." I was a bit puzzled. What was going on with Sophia? I asked, "Sophia, do you lick the lid when you drink yogurt?" Sophia hesitated and replied, "No." I smiled and said, "I do. So we're not suitable." This made Sophia even more at a loss. I waved my hand and continued, "I go to bed at 8 p.m. on the dot and listen to rock music before going to bed. I'm going back." After the scene, the bullet comments in the live streaming room came flooding in, "Quick, everyone come and see James's group. It's so funny that it can make your teeth fall out. Look at how James has made our actress Sophia so wronged. The atmosphere between these two is so strange. Somehow, it feels a bit sweet. CP can be unpopular, but not weird. This pair shouldn't be shipped. The combination of Sophia and David is the right way." As soon as I returned to the large communal room and was about to play a game to calm down, David came back. He looked at me in surprise and asked, "James, why are you back so soon? What about your date?" I leaned lazily against the doorframe, with a piece of bread in my mouth, and replied, "It's over." A flash of pride briefly appeared in David's eyes and then disappeared, but I still caught it. I have a bad reputation, and I'm known for being eager to form CP. Female guests avoid me like the plague. Sophia has a high status in the entertainment industry and is known for being aloof and hard to approach. David must have assumed that I was driven back by Sophia. He covered his mouth, looking a bit incredulous, and said, "I'm sorry. I said the wrong thing. James, don't be angry. I apologize to you on behalf of Sophia. TSK, his acting skills are so clumsy. He looks like he has pink eye and asthma." I suddenly feel a bit sorry for his fans. The bullet comments in the live streaming room started complaining again, "Can James talk? If not, just shut up. James is just bullying our kind-hearted and soft-hearted David. He snatched someone else's CP and still has the nerve to be angry." But some careful netizens came out to speak for me. I don't know who started provoking first. And I don't see that James is angry. This made David's fans unhappy, and they started attacking. Our David was just showing concern for him. How is that provoking? Did I say you? Take the blame yourself. The bullet comments in the live streaming room were in a heated argument when Sophia pushed the door open and walked in. The camera immediately framed David and Sophia together, leaving me out alone. I couldn't help but give the cameraman a thumbs up. David went up to her, looked at Sophia affectionately, and said in a tone like a boyfriend, "Sophia, no matter what, you shouldn't have left James alone." Sophia's eyes fell on me, her expression unfathomable, as if she wanted to say something but held back. Just then, a crisp game prompt sound broke the delicate atmosphere. I quickly muted my phone, smiled at the two in front of me, and said, "Sorry to interrupt." "You don't have to mind me. Continue." The bullet screen in the live broadcast room burst out with laughter. "James is great. Redefine sadness. James bore my laughter today. What should I do?" I suddenly felt so awkward when David and Sophia were in the same picture. And they are often in the same framework, which seems a bit deliberate. The sister in front, they're in the same frame a lot because they like each other. Like James and Sophia, they're always miles apart, so they're definitely not in the same frame. That night, there were a total of 5 female guests. David received the most anonymous love letters. And David had put on waterproof makeup in advance. He even cried non-stop in front of the camera. David said he was grateful for their love and was very touched, but there was already a bright moon in his heart, and he couldn't accommodate anyone else. The bullet comments in the live streaming room were filled with messages like Sophia and David's combination is so sweet, David is so cultured, David don't cry, you deserve all the good things in the world. Everyone was speculating which one of these love letters was written by Sophia. The camera turned to me. I came out wearing slippers. I only received one anonymous love letter, and the program team hid it. I asked the program team for the reason, and they explained that it was probably a wrong vote, and this letter didn't count. Actually, it's understandable. The program team wants popularity, so they must create drama. They used the contrast between me and David to create a strong contrast and attract attention. Because I received 0 valid love letters and ranked last, I had to accept the punishment. Not only did I have to move to the room with the worst environment, but I also lost the right to actively choose a female guest I was interested in. Surprisingly, there were a lot fewer people scolding me in the bullet comments in the live streaming room. More people chose to leave comments to comfort me. Only I knew how I really felt at this moment. I wasn't sad at all. This was not a punishment, it was a reward for me. Usually, I'm exhausted from filming. God knows how much I want to lie in the room and sleep now. During the day, everyone else had chosen their crushes. Some were showing affection, some were making desserts, some were chatting about life, and there were also some love triangles. I slept until 9 a.m., sat in the corner farthest from Sophia, and played games, enjoying my leisure. After a while, Sophia came over to get water. Her curvy figure stood in front of me. I silently got up and went to the other side. Soon, Sophia came to the spot where I was sitting again and picked up a peach. I thought she would take it and leave, but instead, Sophia stood there, staring at the peach as if admiring a painting, and didn't leave for a long time. I couldn't help but want to get up again. When I looked up, I accidentally met Sophia's eyes. Sophia's crow feather-like eyelashes fluttered slightly, and her jet black pupils were like a bottomless pit. Her bright red lips were pursed slightly, and I felt a bit hot. After all these years, Sophia was still so charming. I turned my head to leave, and a hint of panic flashed in Sophia's eyes. Almost instinctively, she stepped in front of me. I looked at Sophia quietly. On the surface, I seemed calm, but in my heart, I was full of questions. What was Sophia up to? Sophia lowered her head, and her voice was cold yet couldn't hide her cuteness as she said to me, "Do you want to eat a peach?" The bullet comments in the live streaming room exploded. Netizens were discussing animatedly, is this a pick-up line? Why does the usually haughty and aloof Sophia turn into this kitten-like appearance whenever she meets James? I don't understand, but I'm really shocked. Haha, look at James's expression. These two have the fewest scenes together and avoid suspicion the most, yet they make me so intrigued. It's really amazing. I flatly refused, no. But then, I suddenly realized this was a live stream, and Sophia was an actress after all. It seemed a bit disrespectful of me, so I changed my words and said, "Give it to me." The corners of Sophia's mouth curled up slightly, and she smiled at me, "I'll go wash it for you." I didn't know what to say to her at this moment. Sophia, my goodness, do you still remember that I'm just a backdrop? The bullet comments in the live streaming room reached a climax. Am I seeing this right? Is this the first time Sophia has smiled since joining the show? And it's actually for James. Before James paid attention to her, Sophia's aloof expression was like she was announcing that she was born not to smile. But after James responded to her, Sophia was all smiles. I furrowed my brows. When I took the washed peach from Sophia, I accidentally touched her hand. It was cool. The moment our bodies made contact, it was like a fire had been ignited. We both quickly retracted our hands almost simultaneously. Sophia slowly curled her long, delicate fingers, and the tips were pink. I coughed twice, took the peach, and turned to leave. In less than 2 minutes of footage, the bullet comments in the live streaming room were scrolling like crazy. Sophia's eyes were full of affection the whole time. I'm losing it. I've already imagined a 100,000-word tragic love story. Everyone in the world thinks we have nothing to do with each other, or even hate each other, but only I know how much I long for you in the dead of night. My desires, my obsessions, my can't be broadcast later. Sigh, why did it stop? Hurry up and continue writing for the VIP members. Don't miss any details of the actions, expressions, and voices. They're so addictive, just from a simple hand touch. Hey, wake up. David is still nearby. You're randomly pairing Sophia and James as a romantic couple, which is ruining the relationship between Sophia and David. What kind of fans are these? They're making the comments section a mess. Oh, let me see who's getting all high and mighty from hyping up a CP. Look, although David and Sophia have the most screen time, has Sophia ever looked at him directly? David's fans were unhappy and fought back one after another. Anyone with eyes can see that the official only approves of the Sophia-David couple. Why do you have to look for trouble? Does that scumbag James deserve it? Some netizens who like to join in the fun refuse to give in. These days, they still force feed us CP. The artificial sweetness created by the official is just cloying, not sweet at all. I won't buy it. I'm a rebellious ostrich who just likes to ship the avoid suspicion CP. It pisses you off, it pisses you off. This avoid suspicion CP really suits James's temperament. After eating the peach Sophia gave me, I actually lost 3 games in a row. I grumbled in my heart that it must be because my teammates were too bad, definitely not because I was distracted. It must be that way. In the following weeks, David suddenly became very friendly with me. When I got up in the morning, he would come up to me and say, "It's almost 10 o'clock. James finally woke up." I replied helplessly, "It's okay. Even if you don't say it, netizens can tell I'm lazy." When I was playing games, David was reading in the next room and smiling at the camera for the show. I've been reading a lot of domestic and foreign masterpieces recently. I'll share them with you when I have time. I thought to myself, humph, I saw it. The book is called The 999th Escape of the Son in Law and the Rich Family. I wonder if he finally escaped or not. Once, when we were all gathered discussing Sophia's movie, Sophia had given out many peripherals to people in the industry when the movie was released. David suddenly asked me, "James, which character did you receive?" I was well known for not being familiar with Sophia in the entertainment industry, and our teams had no interaction. So I casually replied, "I didn't receive any." David pretended to be pitiful and said, "Sorry, James. I said the wrong thing. I didn't mean to reopen your wound." I nodded perfunctorily and said, "Okay, I forgive you." David was stunned. The bullet comments in the live streaming room were immediately filled with ha ha ha. Netizens said one after another, "Guys, I can't stop laughing. I'm going to laugh out my 8-pack abs." At this time, Sophia walked past David and came to my side. She lowered her voice and said, "I sent you a lot at that time, but you refused them all. I thought you didn't like them. Which one do you like? I'll have someone send it to you now." I looked away and replied, "No need. I don't have anywhere to put it." In a corner where the camera couldn't reach, David gave me a fierce glare and then turned around and left. I don't know what got into him. He targeted me in everything, treating me as his imaginary enemy. It even forced my screen time to increase. I don't know if the program team will give me more money. Probably because the program team thought these days were too peaceful, they started to stir things up again. The program team proposed to hold a beach pajama party. Everyone would gather, prepare their own ingredients for dinner, and play games designed by the program team in advance. The loser would randomly draw a card provided by the program team and accept the punishment as required on the card. The content of the card was unknown, and so was the scale. As soon as the preview of the pajama party was released, it quickly hit the hot search, attracting the attention of many passers-by. Netizens quickly got ready and waited for the show to start. That night, everyone chose outfits that could best show off their figures. Men and women gathered together. The waves were rolling, and the voices were noisy. The scene was full of exposed skin, and there was a strong hormonal atmosphere. The program team set up a temporary outdoor open-air kitchen. I was hiding in there, wearing the standard blue home cotton pajamas, grilling meat. The bullet comments in the live streaming room were full of complaints. "It's really hard to find James in the camera. If anyone says James is always trying to steal the spotlight again, I'll get angry." I've gradually gotten used to James's outrageous dressing style. This is called the handsome and willful style. Look, who is James? He's the guy who listens to rock music to fall asleep. As soon as the meat was cooked, a young and beautiful rapper girl, Emma, came over and asked, "It smells so good. Can I have some?" I replied politely, "Sure. I can't finish it all by myself anyway." Emma was wearing a swimsuit almost like a bikini, exuding a coquettish charm. In the votes for the female guests that the guys were interested in, she had the fewest votes, and her screen time had decreased significantly. She probably wanted to team up with me, who was also at the bottom, to gain some popularity. Unfortunately, she picked the wrong person. I'd rather not be on camera at all. After eating the meat, Emma got even closer, winked at me, and said in a cutesy voice, "As a reward, I'll peel an apple for James." I felt extremely awkward. I thought this girl was overdoing it. Just as I was about to refuse, Sophia walked over, bypassing the crowd. Emma quickly tried to please her. Sophia, are you looking for David? He's not here. Sophia completely ignored the girl and carefully sat down next to me. She said calmly, do you want to eat an apple? I'll peel it. The bullet comments in the live streaming room immediately went wild. Netizens joked one after another, the actress is acting wronged online, and I'm laughing like a pig. Sophia seems like a little cat vying for attention. What should I do? I feel like I'm turning from a boyfriend fan to a mom fan. This is so exciting. The pressure is on James. What is Sophia doing here instead of performing in front of the camera? Could it be that she's still holding a grudge from their school days? It can't be. A famous actress like her shouldn't be so narrow-minded. I frowned and looked at Emma, saying, she won't. You do it. Sophia didn't say anything. She just took an apple and started peeling it. The blade flashed coldly. Sophia's cold eyes swept over Emma's exposed upper body, and she peeled the apple with extra force. Emma was dumbfounded. She swallowed hard, looked at me and then at Sophia, then dropped the apple, made an excuse, and left. The bullet comments in the live streaming room burst into laughter. A few seconds later, the knife in Sophia's hand dropped onto the table with a dull thud. I had just taken a step but then retracted it. Sophia opened her hand, and blood beads oozed from her pale, slender fingers, like red roses blooming on the snow. I hesitated for a second, then couldn't resist getting a band-aid. I comforted myself that I was just being helpful. Actually, I didn't feel bad for her at all. Yeah, that's right. Sophia obediently stretched her hand out in front of me. Her brows were slightly furrowed, and the corners of her eyes were slightly red, looking extremely endearing. The bullet comments in the live streaming room were bustling. Next, please enjoy the annual blockbuster A Little Scheming Never Hurt, starring the actress Sophia, also known as Look at My Worthless Self. Sophia must be thinking, James, look at me. I'm hurt. Comfort me quickly. If you don't look at me, the wound will heal on its own. Sophia, do you remember that you didn't even make a sound when you broke 2 ribs while filming? I'm addicted. I can actually see a hint of doting in James's seemingly disgusted actions. After I put on the band-aid, the game was about to start. The director's team was announcing the game rules. I got up and walked over, and Sophia silently followed me. This ridiculous game was called heart pounding. Within a specified time, we had to randomly find a partner and do the actions specified by the program team. During this time, an instrument would monitor the heart rate in real time. Whoever's heart rate exceeded the specified value first would have to accept the punishment. The first action was for the guy to touch the girl's hair for 10 seconds. Everyone immediately started moving. David also ran towards Sophia, and sweet background music played. Just then, a soft touch came, making me feel a tingle. I lost my balance and instinctively put my arm around Sophia. Sophia had a cold personality and rarely had strange little hobbies. She almost seemed inhuman. The only thing that made her seem a bit more alive was that she was kind of a hand lover, and I happened to be well known in the industry for my hands. Seeing that time was running out, I could only raise my hand and gently place it on Sophia's hair. The sudden contact made Sophia involuntarily snuggle closer to me. Looking over Sophia's shoulder, I saw David's expression. His originally pretty features were now a bit distorted. The malice in David's eyes was hard to hide, making me wonder if Sophia really had a crush on David. Her taste couldn't be that bad, could it? All along, the director and my agent had repeatedly emphasized to me that the show mainly promoted the CP of David and Sophia. So the program team always arranged them together, creating a lot of sweet moments. David always acted like he was very familiar with Sophia, but Sophia never seemed to respond actively. She always treated David as an ordinary friend, being polite but distant. Several times, Sophia almost lost her temper at him, but by then, the camera had already moved away and didn't capture it. The director blew the whistle. The second action was for the guy to pin the girl against the wall for 5 seconds. Sophia's fingers slowly slid down from my waist, and her voice was low and seductive. "Senior, there's no time left." After that, she consciously stepped back, and her bright red lips curled up slightly. In a moment of impulse, I directly pushed Sophia forcefully against the nearby tree. The tree trunk shook, and many petals fell, landing on Sophia's shoulders. I looked down at her, as if I had returned to that sweltering summer. At that time, Sophia was wearing a neat school uniform, standing alone under the tree to rest. With her rosy lips and white teeth, black hair and eyes, she was as beautiful as a female goblin in a comic, and she immediately caught my attention when I was being punished to stand on the playground. The bullet comments in the live streaming room went wild. This fateful look of Sophia. I think she needs an inhibitor, no, two actually. Mom fans, gather. Hurry up and kiss. With this kind of atmosphere, how can you resist not kissing? I don't care. The avoid suspicion CP is real. I don't care. If they're not real, then I'm fake. They have few scenes together, but whenever they're in the same frame, they make my heart flutter. Ah, my girlish heart. What is Sophia up to? Is she afraid of running out of time? Why doesn't she go to David but insists on completing the task with James? I reasonably suspect that David is just being wishful thinking. The program team thought hyping up their CP would generate high popularity, so they kept giving them the camera, but Sophia doesn't care about him at all. That's why those sweet scenes seem so forced. Personal opinion. At this time, a netizen replied, the netizen in front, you've said what I was thinking. I've wanted to say it for a long time but was afraid of being scolded. If Sophia doesn't like David, why did she send him a love letter? How do you know there's definitely one from Sophia among those letters? Explain it. If she didn't send it to David, then where is Sophia's letter? Did you eat it? The alarm went off. Someone's heart rate had exceeded the specified value, and the game ended. I looked at the red light flashing continuously on Sophia's chest and couldn't help but think. The development of things seemed different from what I had imagined. The bullet comments in the live streaming room scrolled rapidly. Look, Sophia is smitten. She has a crush on James. Who understands? I'm twisting like a worm in bed. I've always said there was something between them. But why did Sophia fall for him first? This is so disappointing. Buck up. This part of the program was hosted by Olivia, the oldest among us. Sophia drew a card and handed it to Olivia. Olivia didn't ask the question immediately. Instead, she first enlivened the atmosphere. Everyone, talk about your ideal types. Have they changed because of participating in the show? David glanced at Sophia, looking a bit shy, and took the lead in saying, I like someone a bit aloof, preferably in the same industry, with double eyelids and a tear mole. Olivia smiled and replied, David, your description is too obvious. Can you say that? Olivia, who used to be a host and has been in the industry for many years, is a shrewd person. She can see through those little thoughts that people think are well hidden at a glance. After hearing David's words, Olivia joked, no one asked you to say it. You just blurted it out on your own. The atmosphere was awkward for a moment. Emma interrupted and asked, Actress Sophia, is your ideal boyfriend like David? Probably because Emma's words were too straightforward, Olivia tried to smooth things over. Emma is straightforward. Sophia, don't mind her. Sophia replied, no, my ideal type isn't like David. The bullet comments in the live streaming room scrolled frantically. Netizens responded one after another, the main character herself has spoken. It's obvious who's trying to ride on someone else's popularity. To be honest, I used to have a good impression of David, but in this show, he's really fond of insinuating others. I've lost all my good feelings. Is he always like this? The one in front, maybe because this is a live stream, there's no script, and it can't be edited, so his true self was accidentally exposed. No wonder their scenes together seem so artificial, like they're just being forced together by the program team. Olivia had an I knew it expression, proudly winked at the tough-looking uncle next to her, and then said, now, let's look at the content of the card and see what punishment our highly anticipated actress Sophia will receive. Olivia took out the card and showed it in front of the camera. The punishment is a truth-telling question. Sophia, you must answer truthfully. The first question is, when was your first kiss, and was it taken actively or passively? No lying. Sophia replied, 17 years old, passive. Everyone present was stunned. No one expected Sophia to answer so straightforwardly. After the initial shock, everyone's gossipy spirit was ignited. I quietly took a sip of ice-cold beer to calm my nerves, moved a bit to the side, and silently thought to myself, don't look at me, everyone, don't look at me. The number of bullet comments in the live streaming room reached an unprecedented high. Netizens were saying, have you noticed? Sophia's eyes never left James throughout. This really seems like something James would do. Let me give you a little known fact. Sophia, James, and David graduated from the same high school and then got into the same university. James is 1 grade older than Sophia and is her senior. Olivia didn't expect Sophia to have her first love so early. She could only smile awkwardly and then continued, the next question is, how many times have you kissed in real life, and did anything regrettable happen during the kiss? Sophia was silent for a while and then said, once, and I regret pushing him away at that time. Olivia glanced at me and deliberately asked in a mischievous way, what? I don't quite understand. Sophia, could you elaborate? I was choked hard by the beer. The bullet comments in the live streaming room became lively. Olivia really understands the CP. Olivia must be at the main table when James and Sophia get married. Ha, James is panicking. He's almost moving out of the camera frame. If there's nothing going on, why is James so nervous? Just as Olivia was about to speak, Sophia interrupted her. Sorry, wait a moment. I was shrinking my head and slowly moving out of the camera view when I suddenly heard footsteps beside me. Then the ice-cold beer in my hand was taken away, and Sophia's concerned voice came, Are you having a stomachache? I covered my stomach with both hands, and a layer of cold sweat broke out on my forehead. Would she believe me if I said I wasn't in pain? Sophia steadily helped me up and said calmly to everyone, I'll take him back. You guys continue. Netizens in the live streaming room joked, You'd better remember Sophia's current aloof and cool appearance, because once they're alone, Sophia will turn into a soft and cute kitten. Back in the room, Sophia helped me onto the bed and skillfully boiled water and prepared medicine. I took out my phone and saw the pushed-out messages. When I clicked on them, they were screenshots of me and Sophia during the live stream. There were more than a dozen of them. Almost everyone showed me doing my own thing while Sophia was silently staring at me from a distance. Below the photos were several videos. In the first video, Sophia was always quietly looking in a direction outside the camera, and then her lips suddenly curved into a smile. In the second video, the first thing Sophia did every morning after getting up was to refill the melon seeds in the living room and then place the tray in the position where I usually sat. These scenes that had originally flashed by on the camera were carefully sorted out by attentive netizens and put together. The comment with the most likes said, Love is something that, even if you cover your mouth, will still show in your eyes. It can't be hidden. I was lying on the bed, constantly zooming in on Sophia's face in one of the photos when suddenly a voice came from behind, Senior. I was so scared that I immediately turned off the screen. I wish Sophia hadn't noticed that I was looking at her photos. Sophia handed me a water cup and the medicine. I quickly took the medicine and lay back on the bed, my mind in a turmoil, evoking many past memories. Since the day I was punished to stand on the playground and met Sophia for the first time, I would go to her class every day under the pretext of my position. At that time, Sophia had grown into a graceful young lady. She had a cold and distant personality, not very close to others, but her pretty face was chubby and looked very pinch-able. I always wanted to pinch it but couldn't find the opportunity. Finally, one time, Sophia was late and I stopped her at the school gate. I put on an air and said, If you don't want the teacher to know, there is a way. Sophia asked me obediently, What way? I said, Let the senior pinch your face. As I said this, I couldn't help but reach out. It was so soft and comfortable. Sophia's face turned bright red. She quickly looked around and said in a low voice, Senior, you're bullying me. Then she ran away quickly. My heart melted. From that day on, I had an extra pleasure in my daily life, teasing Sophia. She was always alone, not talkative, and had few friends, which gave me many opportunities. During that period, when I was free, I would wait for her to go to and from school every day. Sophia gradually got used to my presence. When Sophia was 17, I was 18. I sent her an invitation for my birthday, but Sophia arrived very late. I thought she wasn't coming. At that time, I was drunk. I dragged Sophia to a small alley and asked her for a birthday gift. Sophia said self-reproachfully, Senior, something happened at home, and I didn't have time to prepare a gift. I was drunk and didn't listen to her explanation at all. I thought being late was bad enough, and not even having a gift. Did she even consider me a friend? The moonlight shone down from the eaves of the wall, illuminating Sophia's incredibly beautiful face. The more I thought about it, the angrier I got, and at the same time, I was deeply attracted by her face. On impulse, I leaned in and kissed her, completely forgetting that Sophia had told me she firmly opposed puppy love. I don't remember much about what happened later. I only remember that Sophia was really angry. No matter how I bullied her on ordinary days, Sophia had never lost her temper at me. That was the first time she pushed me away. Sophia handed me to my friends and then left in a hurry. The next day, when I woke up from my hangover, I regretted it deeply. I thought Sophia must hate me to death, so I took the initiative to keep a distance from her. Later, when we entered the entertainment industry and she became a popular actress, I avoided her even more. But Sophia's current actions made me very confused. Click, the door opened, and Sophia walked in wearing a bathrobe. The collar of her bathrobe was opened a little wider, and her collarbone was clearly visible, with some undried water droplets on it. The bullet comments in the live streaming room scrolled like crazy. Sophia is really going all out to chase her man. She even put on this battle robe. She's wet, like a dancing cat. Seeing Sophia's appearance, I became much more energetic. I tried to act calm, but my eyes couldn't help but glance at her collar. I asked nervously, "What's up?" Sophia closed the door and replied obediently, "I was worried about your health, so I came to check on you before I go to bed. Is your stomach still hurting?" As she spoke, Sophia had already walked to my bedside and handed me a hot water bag to put on my abdomen. The faint smell of shower gel wafted into my nose, making my heart tingle. I held my breath and replied, "I'm fine now. You can go back. If you don't go back, something might happen to me." "No, I mean, if you don't go back, you might get into trouble." Sophia's voice was as low as a dreamy murmur, "James." I turned my head in surprise. In all the time I'd known her, this was the first time she called me by my full name. Sophia looked at me without hesitation, and her jet black eyes were filled with surging emotions. She looked at me and said, "James, do you know that when you like someone too deeply, you like to call them by their full name?" I moved my lips, and it took a long time for me to say, "What are you talking about?" Sophia carefully moved closer to me. Her furry head rubbed against my arm, and she said in a somewhat coquettish tone, "Senior, you've rejected me once. Don't reject me a second time." I was stunned. I sat up from the bed and asked, "When did I reject you?" Sophia's voice was low, tinged with a hint of grievance. "On your 18th birthday, I asked you why you did that to me, if you like me. You said you just thought I was fun." "What?" That must be the nonsense and angry words I said when I was drunk. I finally got a clue and then replied, "So, that's why you pushed me away back then?" Sophia nodded and said, "However, I regret it. Watching you move further and further away from me later, I felt helpless. I've thought countless times about going back to that alley. No matter what you said, I wouldn't push you away again." I reached out and gently pinched Sophia's face, murmuring to myself, "Fortunately, it's not too late. Fortunately, the misunderstanding was cleared up not too late. Fortunately, when we met again, we still like each other." The bullet comments in the live streaming room scrolled with messages. Are they confessing? Sophia's tail is almost wagging off. She's like a clingy ragdoll cat. After everything was cleared up, it was already 1 o'clock in the morning. I was yawning non-stop, but Sophia was still lingering by the bedside. I touched her chin, deliberately teasing her. "Sophia, aren't you afraid you won't be able to leave if you don't go now?" Sophia's face turned a bit red, and she said gently to me, "You go to sleep. I'll leave in a while." On a whim, I blurted out, "The floor is too cold. Why don't you come and lie on the bed for a while?" Sophia almost replied immediately, "Okay." She picked up a pillow from somewhere, quickly climbed onto the bed, and lay obediently beside me. Sophia stared at me quietly, and the tenderness in her eyes spread in the night, wrapping around me like a net. I thought to myself, I was just asking out of politeness. Had this woman been waiting for me to say this all along? The bullet comments in the live streaming room went wild. "The most paths James has walked in his life are probably the tricks of the actress Sophia. Please, Sophia, open a class. This woman is really good at it. It's like a textbook level way to chase a man. I'm so sweetened. Why did the lights go out? Why did the camera stop? Do I care about the data?" The program team didn't expect things to turn out this way. The CP they originally strongly promoted didn't interest netizens, but the most marginal pair of me and Sophia became extremely popular across the whole network. Sophia and I officially announced our relationship when the public opinion was at its peak. The picture released by Sophia's studio was a combination of 2 photos. One was a photo from an award-giving ceremony. I was standing on the stage in a suit, and Sophia was running towards me with a bouquet of red roses. She was my award presenter that time. The other photo was from high school days. The sun was shining brightly. I had my school uniform tied around my waist and was stretching out my hand, waiting for Sophia to run over and give me a book. The caption was, "The young man finally waited for his girl." When the romance reality show was coming to an end, the director said to Sophia confidently, "Next season, bring James with you again. I promise to give you the most screen time." Sophia coldly refused, "No need." The director still didn't give up. "I also have a couples travel variety show. After you two get married." Sophia's tone turned completely cold, full of oppressive force. "Let's talk about how you forced the CP regardless of the guests' wishes just for the sake of popularity." The director smiled sheepishly and said, "Well, I just remembered I have something else to do. It seems my house is on fire. I have to go." I narrowed my eyes and stood behind Sophia, witnessing the whole process. Olivia gently bumped into me and said, "James, Sophia has given all her tenderness in this life to you. She's well known in the industry for being tough, but in front of you, she's as meek as a cat. On the day when the recording officially ended, everyone got together for a meal. David made an excuse of being sick and didn't come. He lost a lot of fans because of this variety show and also offended many people. He probably wanted to lie low now. A staff member ran over and handed me a letter, saying, "James, this is the anonymous love letter that was originally voted for you. The program team hid it. I just stole it from the room and brought it to you." I took the letter. The staff member covered her face, looked at me and then at Sophia, and then said, "Wish you two have a baby soon." Then she ran away shyly. For a moment, I couldn't tell if this staff member was a CP fan or a black fan. She gave me a love letter from another woman right in front of Sophia. I threw the letter aside and forced a couple of laughs, saying, "Don't worry about it. I should not be familiar with her. Let's have dinner first." Sophia said, "I wrote it." Olivia was the first to react from the shock and started to egg me on. The program team is really heartless. They even dared to hide this. "James, open it and take a look." As soon as Olivia spoke, everyone at the table joined in. I slowly opened the purple envelope, and delicate handwriting came into view. "Senior, the moonlight is so beautiful, but the beer tastes so bad. I miss you so much. Can you look back at me? If not, can you forgive my willfulness and allow me to keep thinking about you? Can you let me take care of you? If not, can you forgive my daydreaming and allow me to keep loving you?" I put down the letter, my eyes a bit red. I looked at Sophia seriously and said, "Sophia, you wrote it well. I'm going to give you a reward." Sophia asked in surprise, "What reward?" I hugged Sophia tightly and said, "The reward is to love you for a lifetime."